Alright, today I'm talking about St. John's wort. It's out in most areas in North America, and there are several varieties and species of St. John's wort, but really there are only two. Most would say there's only one, but they're forgetting about one, and it's actually the better one. So, Hypericum perforatum is the one that you usually read about in your guides. That's considered the medicinal St. John's wort, and is the one that is used famously for combating depression, and is also a vulnerary, a wound healer. But the one that I have is actually a native to North America. Hypericum perforatum is not native. That is one that was introduced from Europe and grows more in open, dry, sunny areas. And this one that I have is Hypericum punctatum. So Hypericum perforatum has a smaller leaf, and if you look at the leaf through, up at the sun, you'll see tiny little holes in the leaf. And that's why it's perforatum. It's perforated leaves. And it has larger flowers. This is, you're not going to be able to really tell because I've been wilting this today in preparation to use this. Wilting it because I want some of the moisture to evaporate from the plant itself before I use it in a medicinal preparation. So this is the Hypericum punctatum, and hypericin is the active compound that you're looking for that's most medicinal. There's quite a few compounds in St. John's wort that work synergistically and are really good, but it's the hypericin that really is the special ingredient in this plant. Now, Hypericum punctatum, which is this one, which is more of a forest species, and this is what I have on our land, this is higher in hypericin. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an oil, an infused oil, and I'm going to make a tincture, because this is a plant that is great both internally and externally. So internally, I'm gonna make the tincture for internal use, and I'm gonna make the oil for external use. And the external use will be things like sunburn. I got a sunburn today. I love sun. It's so good. It felt good. So this is good for sun damage. This is good for wounds, and this is good for deep muscle and nerve damage. So it's also good for wounds that may have severed nerves and therefore are not healing properly, because your body needs to be able to feel something to be able to send the antibodies and white blood cells and things. Your immune system goes off of pain. So if the nerves are severed on something, oftentimes it's very hard to heal that type of wound. But this is one of those that it's going to work anyways. Okay, so let's start on the preparations. So the internal use one is going to be the tincture, and this will be more for treating anxiety and depression and these things. And the oil is going to be made into salve and just maybe a massage oil for deep nerve and tissue damage, things like that. So anyways, I've gotten just about 25% of the plant. It's maybe 2 or 3 feet tall. And what I did, I got the blister to prove it. I never go out with scissors. I really need to start carrying some scissors with me. But I just kind of snapped the tops off. And hopefully that will cause the plant to bloom again through September. These come out in about late June, and they should go through September if all goes well. We'll see. If you guys are interested, I could probably harvest some seeds and sell them, so let me know. And then I'll also have the tincture and the oil on my Etsy store, which is the Tiva Rose Herbs Etsy store, and I sell my stuff there. That was a commercial, wasn't it? That's pretty bad. Anyways, I'm gonna have it because I know of a few people who are really looking forward to using this for some wounds that won't heal, and also for depression. and helping to stop smoke. It does take off that edge, along with lobelia, chamomile, and some other things. Mimosa, passion flower, things that are kind of calming. A little tip there. So anyways, I got this, and I just grabbed some scissors, and I just roughly chopped it. And I ended up with just pieces more. And now this is the stems, the leaves, and the flowers of, like I said, about the first quarter top or so of the plant. You don't have to get the whole plant. You shouldn't get the whole plant, but all of these parts do contain the medicinal compounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack these. Basically, it's the same method for both of these. And again, this is the folk method that I showed the other day on the yarrow tincture video. So I'm just going to loosely pack these. I'm not going to cram, you know. The big deal here is, especially for the oil, because you don't want it to go rancid. Like I said, I wilted these pretty good. This is, you can kind of hear it. It's not crunchy, but it's definitely not, you know, juicy either. So I got a lot of the water, just the water moisture out of there, because I don't want that mixing with my oil and causing it to go rancid. But the other thing is, you do not want any of this plant poking out of the oil. If you can do that, then you can pretty much ensure that your oil will not go rancid. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for the oil. Okay, it's not even packed. I'm not cramming. It's just, I'm going to leave about an inch of room at the top because I want the oil to really fully cover that. I'm going to do the same for the tincture. Looks like I have to cut a little bit more here. And you know what was really neat about this? These were not buggy. A lot of times I pick things and they're buggy. They got bugs on them. These didn't have any bugs on them. I was really pleased with that. And I think kind of what I'm learning to do is as soon as I see something bloom, I go and pick it. I don't wait till it's been out for weeks and weeks, because then the bugs do get the opportunity to kind of make their homes in these plants and start laying eggs. And you don't want those kinds of things in your medicine. So I've been going out every day watching for these to bloom, and as soon as they bloomed, I went and picked what I needed. And I did not pick more than, you know what, I probably did pick more than I needed. But I'll go ahead and just use all of my plant material in oils and tinctures. I'm not going to dry any of this because I prefer to make my infused oils and my tinctures out of fresh, and I'm not going to make capsules or anything out of this. I don't think I will, you know. That would be a bummer to like learn down the line that maybe I wanted to do that and didn't have any dried material. So maybe I will dry a little bit and just see what I do with it throughout the year. Alright, this should top off my second jar. So I just roughly chopped it. You kind of saw that. And this smells good. And you know, the tincture actually has a really nice flavor to it also. And wait till you guys see the color. A lot of you guys, you know, probably have some experience with this. But this will turn blood red. And in fact, when I'm picking the plant, let me see if I can, like I said, I dried it out pretty good. But when you roll these plants, it's a green leaf, you know, green leaf, but then when you roll this, let me see if it'll do it. It actually turns bright red right on your fingers. Oh, I got that blister. I need some St. John's wort oil, don't I? Fix that up. I'm not going to do it, of course. It's almost like when it was really fresh. It's just really hot. So on the way from where I picked this at our property to my house, it wilted enough, really. But anyways, it's really cool when you're picking it. And that's one of the identification markers too. Is you roll it in your hand. Oh, I wish this would work. I just want to show you. You can kind of see it. It's making like a purple. No, you can't. Purple streak on my hand. Anyways, when you do this with the oil and the tincture, this is not going to be a green tincture. This is going to be a bright red, beautiful preparation here. So anyways, let's get to it. So I'm just going to get my 100 proof vodka. This is what I prefer to use for my tinctures. There are times where I will add vegetable glycerin, water, or vinegar, and that all depends on what types of constituents I'm trying to pull out of the plant. And I mentioned this before, but if you want to get the Medicine Maker's Handbook, then that will kind of give you a beginning guide on what constituents need what kind of menstruums, what types of liquids to pull out certain things. But this is just going to be 100 proof vodka, which is 50% alcohol. And I filled it all the way up to the top. I'm going to cap it. I'm going to label this Hypericum, punctatum, spotted St. John's wort, the date that I started it, and what type of alcohol I used. I'm going to let this sit for about a month, and I'm going to shake it. Ooh, it's already turning pink. That is crazy. Isn't it cool? So, that was just instant. Very cool. So, I'm going to put this in a dark place. Now, the oil, I like to use grapeseed oil. That's my favorite because it soaks in very well. Grapeseed oil. And I'm going to top this off. This is our infused oil now. I'm going to top this off to the very top. I am not going to let any plant material poke up above the oil. I'm going to like get a chopstick here in a minute or something and poke all of this down after I shake it. See, that is really good. I didn't pack it in there. If I had packed this in here and filled it too high, it may go rancid because there's too much coming out of it. So I'm going to shake this. Now this one I'm not going to, you can leave it in a dark place, but you can also leave it in a windowsill to kind of warm it up. You're not going to sit here and, really warm it up, but the sun helps to infuse this particular oil. This is a sun-loving plant. So this will be a beautiful red oil. This will be a beautiful red tincture. Already it's pink. So cool. And that's it. That is how you make St. John's wort for internal and external use. And it is a wonderful plant for wound healing, like I said, for anti-depressant, things like that. So I hope you're able to find some out there and give this a try. Thank you.